Good morning, and welcome to an Inquisitive Crafter, episode 60. My name is Susie, and I am an Inquisitive Crafter. Here's my co-host, Stormy. Stay a while. Does it say that on the other side? Okay, good. I am coming to you on this beautiful Monday morning, January 17th, Martin Luther King Jr. Day in the United States. And welcome. Happy MLK Day. Well, let's just get into it. So today, I have all the things. I have a finished object. I have a hoe, a half-finished object. I have works in progress. I have an update on my intentions for this year and encouragement for you. I have a garden report, a tiny garden report. No worries. I haven't been working too hard there. And then I have what I've been reading. Maybe what I've been watching, but I didn't write that down, so we'll see. Okay, let's start. Okay, so first of all, the first thing I do not have with me to show, but I'll try to insert something in. It is my, what I'm calling Sarah's Coffee Love Hat, which is the base Doodle Beanie by Jamie Lomax. I started this on January 8th and finished it on January 13th. I was making it for my daughter out of Hypnotic yarn, for my Yarnable subscription. I think it was this year. I don't know when it was, maybe June, maybe July. I made it out of Tide Pool and saltwater taffy. So saltwater taffy is the main color. Tide Pool is the blue contrast. Darn it, I forgot. Hold on. Okay, it's 9 in the morning. And then the contrast colors were this purple yarn, sparkle yarn from Louisiana Guys. Is that the name of their shop? I don't know. These guys in Louisiana, I bought this and had this left over from a project, and I love the sparkle, so I tried to put that in as much as possible. And then I included a pink that I don't actually have. I thought I had up here. A hot pink from something. I don't remember where the pink came from. I did all Valentine's doodles, some from Jamie Lomax's doodle book, and some from her Valentine's doodle cards. Okay, my son is up. I should have done this earlier. My husband's up, son's up. What? I don't know, people sleep late on the weekends. Okay. And my daughter works at a coffee shop, and she had her hair in braids. And then the day I finished the hat, she had taken her hair out of the braids. But when she had her hair in braids, she had a lot of scalp showing, and she was getting cold handing coffee out the window. So I made it for her, and she's still wearing it, and she looks adorable. Valentine's is her favorite holiday. Pink is her brand. It looks so cute on her. So, all right. My half-finished object is a present for my friend Rebecca. These are Joe's Perfect Slipper Socks by Cozy Up Knits. Oh. This is my favorite slipper pattern. I mean, I've never successfully knit a slipper except for this one, and I've knit this. This will be my 4th time to knit this. I am doing this with 2 strands of, let's see, 2 sock blanks that Rebecca had given me. She had won those in a door prize. She doesn't like to knit, and she doesn't like to use tiny yarn too much. So she had given me as a Christmas present the 2 sock blanks that she had won. Information's in my Ravelry page, which is down below. Information will be down below. And I did this in the sock blank. I don't remember who did the sock blanks, but the colorway was called Galaxy, I think. And they were so beautiful. And then, so I wound them into 2 cakes and then knit them up. I'm very, at first I was disappointed in the colors because the sock blank, I've never knit with a sock blank. I didn't know what to expect. The sock blanks were like blue with what looked like planets of orange and yellow and whatever. And so this doesn't look like what I think the sock blank looks like. But I love the striping. I was so happy. And I forgot how much I like this pattern. And I really want another pair for me. I have 1 pair for me. I've knit a pair for my sister, a pair for my sister-in-law. And then this will be for Rebecca. I hope they fit. Okay, my son was wandering around. Now the cat's going to be with him. I don't know. Okay, so I finished this. I'm knitting this on size 3 needles. I don't know what size 3 is, a US size 3. I don't know what that is in millimeters. I started these on November 29th, and I finished one, and I have started the second, so I'm past the toe increases and into the foot. I normally like cuff down, but this is the first time, truthfully, I have done the cuff of a toe up anything and not had to redo it. For these slippers, for sure, I usually have to redo them. But I'm very happy. I like this little rolled up bind off. The only thing I don't like about this slipper is her directions for how to place the needles when you've finished the heel are weird. Like, it's just a picture, and I never remember what she's talking about. I never understand what she's talking about. So I always just kind of guesstimate. So I'm hoping my counts won't be off. Also, in this sock, it's cast on 48 stitches. I didn't write good notes. I had to go back and put notes in Ravelry. I think I cast on 48 stitches. I thought I cast on 44 in my head. I cast on for a adult small, medium, adult medium. But I think these are women's large. And she wears a size 8 foot, but I don't know. Anyway, somewhere in the middle here, I think I'd gotten up to like 56 stitches, and I had to decrease back because I wasn't going to rip back. So if you look really carefully, you can see somewhere I went wider and then narrowed it back. But I don't know. And I wear a size 10, and these fit me. So I hope they fit her. I'm going to give them to her for her birthday. Her birthday's in February, and she doesn't know they're coming. These are awesome slippers. You should knit them. Okay. And I'm keeping those in my Pigskin Party 2025 bag from Adorn It's. Okay, next to show you, I've been working on my Friends mitts. I don't think I've talked about these at all. These are by Danny Sunshine. These I started November 25th, and I think they originally were going to be socks for movie knitting. I was going to see Wicked, and I wanted to practice knitting in the dark. And I failed. So what I did is I knit the cuff. This is 8 stitches. And I had that prepped on light needles. I thought that would help me I don't think it did. I know it didn't. And then I started knitting, and you can see all of the mistakes. I had so drop stitches. I think I probably got maybe 2 rounds done, and then I had to quit. So this was not good movie knitting. So then in January, I took my parents to see, and went with my sister to see Song Sung Blue, and kept going. And you can still see, like, the stitches just aren't even. And then I've worked on them a little bit. I've been doing some exercise bike knitting, which I'll show you in a minute, but I was caught up on that. So I picked these up and did a little bit. But I am discovering a couple of things. I don't know that I like these needles. These are from Knit Picks, and I think, and they're wooden, and they have their uses. They're not slippery at all, but I hate the cord. That's what I don't like. What? And I used to like their cord, but I think I like the cord on bigger projects. What I like is ChiaoGoo needles. So, but I'm just gonna stick with these and keep going. Okay, so, and then I'm gonna put a picture in. I have a water bottle holder on my exercise bike, and this fit in the water bottle holder, so I could just knit and pull. So I thought that was really fun. I only did like 12 minutes of knitting on this today. Okay. All right, next up I have my Sting Poncho. Okay, I've talked about this a long time ago and then didn't work on it for a while. So I saw this on YouTube or Facebook. I saw it somewhere where someone took a t-shirt and cut the sleeves off and, you know, cut the side seams. So here's my t-shirt, and then they crocheted on the side. So I've done 17 rows on one side, and I'm almost finished with the 17th row, but I ran out of yarn. This was 2 skeins of yarn from Hobby Lobby. This is, I love this yarn, and I don't remember the color name at this time. I'm not sure it's in my Ravelry notes either, but I'll try to find that and put that in. But I like these colors. It had enough green to satisfy me. Plus, I'm really into blue right now. But I've been putting off working on it because I did not take good notes again. And I did not, I wasn't happy with how I did the start of it. So you take, okay, I don't remember how I got this. You can see it here. You take your darning needle or a needle and you just weave back and forth your yarn through. And then you single crochet across there. Well, I didn't know how much to single crochet. I had no counts, so I had to go through and count. I came out with 157, but I don't count correctly ever. And so I've decided on 156 stitches for the side single crochet. And then you do a 3 double crochets every 3 stitches. And then when you come back, the next subsequent rows, you just do your double crochets, your shell stitch. I don't know what I have a problem with H's today, in the gaps. And that should take 2 skeins of yarn, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do for the end. And maybe my rows will only have 16 rows instead of 17, because I don't think I want to buy another skein of yarn for this project. I don't think. But I finally just sat down yesterday and said, I'm going to figure this out. So I did all the counting. I had to count several times. And then I got started while my husband and I watched, what did we watch? Oh, we're trying to catch up with our Marvel universe watching. So we had watched Thunderbolts. I did not work on this during Thunderbolts. That was an excellent movie. I highly enjoyed it. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. And you don't have to know anything, really, except the superheroes. You do have to know that. But it was good. It was funny. I did not think I was going to enjoy it. I sat down thinking, oh, I don't want to watch this. And then we watched what we thought was a movie, Ironheart, but it's a TV series, and it is in the Marvel universe also. And that's pretty good, although I get scared easy, and that was a little scary. But this is really good crocheting. I'm crocheting this on a J-hook. Because once you have done all of the single crochet row, and then you've done the first row of shells, then everything else you can do by feel, and you don't really have to look. So I'm gonna get this done. This is gonna be done. I am discovering though, I've been doing a lot of knitting and crochet. I have to be careful with my crochet. I really like those hooks, they're helping, but it's kind of hurting my thumbs, and it makes me sad. I do have a hand massager. I call it the hand smusher, because you just put your hand in it and then it just clamps down on various parts of your hands. It's got several modes to it. I have no clue what the modes are for. I just picked the one I decide I want, and I wish it would activate more here. But it does. I do it at night when I feel like I've overused my thumbs. Playing cello and knitting and crocheting, that will all overuse my thumbs if I've been doing that all day. And I do it at night. The affected hand, or both hands, if they're both affected, it has a warming frequency on it, but it doesn't get too warm. And generally the next day I feel better. I put my hand in the machine. I think the machine runs like 20 minutes, I think. I had that number stuck in my head. I don't know if I actually ever timed it, but and then I try to make sure that I take it off before I fall asleep, because I'm terrified. It's a big clunky thing on my hand. I'm scared I'm gonna roll over and hit my husband, and I have accidentally hit myself in the face with it before. Not too hard, so no damage was done. Okay, I've been working on my January Advent socks. So I've discussed this before, but if you're new, I sometimes do my Advent socks not in December, but in January. And I buy more than one skein of yarn for Advent socks, like different Advent socks that people put out. So this year, and then, so then I always have extra when Advent is over. This year I did do my Freckled Whimsy 2025 skein in the Advent season and finished it at the beginning of January, so I was very happy about that. And so I went and started my Freckled Whimsy 2024 socks, which I had not done. So here it is. I am all caught up. So this is a skein of yarn from somewhere. I have no clue. A mini extra leftovers I had. And then I started on the red, and I shouldn't have. I should have waited and started on the purple. But I like the little pop of red, and I don't like red anyway. So if there's not much on it, that's okay. And I did work ahead on these because I took these to my mother's doctor's appointment. And so I finished the day I was on, plus 2 or 3 more days after that. So I think this is day 18 that's starting. But I'm all caught up. These feel ginormous. I'm going ahead, I'm knitting a tube. I'll get to the toe. I'll do the toe when I run out of colors. And then I'm going to put in an afterthought heel. If they fit my husband, I'm going to let him have them. But I don't know. I don't know if they're that big, because he has huge, wide feet. But he's been wanting a pair of socks, and I do have, the reason I haven't knit some for him is because he doesn't take care of stuff, and he would be a fall risk, because knit socks are slippery, can be slippery, and we have, wood floors. I don't want him to fall, but I do have some sock gripper stuff I can put on the bottom for him, so maybe, but hopefully they're going to be for me. But I'm really happy. I do a stripe a day on both socks for my morning biking. And then it takes me about 15 minutes to do a stripe because I'm slow and I get distracted. And so I get the 2 stripes done in about 25 minutes. Well, I usually stop and finish the work. Okay. Anyway, this is in a bag by Katie's Randomness. And it's got dragons on it. Okay, and I started those January 1st. My Sting Poncho I started in August. But I don't know when, I don't remember. Okay, I've been working a little tiny bit on my Crochet Jelly Roll Blanket by K.F. Jones. And I'm not too far, but I did want to show it since it was here. Last time I think I was here, so here's the jelly roll. So you just crochet these little strips using the linen stitch. And then when you get it to the height you want, or if you want to start earlier, you can. You just attach another strip here. So she said you can do it stripe by stripe, or you can have several stripes going, but I'm going to do stripe by stripe. But I picked this up again because I found another yarn I wanted to put in it, and I'm excited about that. The only thing I don't like is notice the narrowness, and the stitch counts are the same, and the wider, but this is a thicker yarn, so we'll see how it works. None of my projects are super tidy, so wonkiness will be okay. I don't have these in a project bag at all. I need to get a project bag for them. All right. I've been working on my Gnettle by Schira that I started, well, I did Gnumpkin. They were brother and sister pair. I did Gnumpkin. I started that October 3rd. So that's my start date for Gnettle 2, I guess. And I'm still working on her. And then I've also been working, but I don't have it to show. And then I've also been working on my trellis scarf or shawl. I finally picked that back up by Dawn Barker that I started in October and worked on that some. So I'm happy to get that back. And I've been working on my Washington stocking. And I don't know where I put it. I thought I had it here to show you. And I don't know where it is. But I've been working on the Washington stocking, which is the holiday stocking, holiday doodle stocking by Jamie Lomax also. I've started the rocket portion, and I don't know if I like the colors, but I think I'm just going to commit to it because I need to get it done because I need to start my stocking. Okay, that's all my projects. Oh, that was a lot, but I'm enjoying them. I'm happy. I like working on all the things I've been working on, and I just dream about working on more stuff. Like there's a granny square blanket, like you do 10 granny squares a month, and you work on them all year, and I have so much yarn. I want to do that. Just all these things I want to do. I'll just see if they get done. What I'm trying to do is work on just a few projects, and then when I finish one, I can start another one. So we'll see. Okay, I wanted to catch you up a little bit on my New Year's resolutions. So my goal this year is to focus. It's not working yet, but it's a goal. It's not a destination. I'm a work in progress, as are you. And so I've been trying to focus on getting my exercise and trying to get stronger. I'm really losing a lot of muscle tone in my legs. I can feel it, and that can't happen. So I'm trying to work on that. And I've been working on slowly my Atomic Habits workbook by James Clear. This is an awesome book, The Atomic Habits. Highly recommend you listen to it because he reads it, and that's really good. And what I wanted to talk to you about today, well, he gave 2 messages. So I subscribed to his newsletter, and then I'm reading this, workbook, working through this workbook. And in the newsletter, he said, what thing would your 80-year-old self beg you to not put off? If you could talk to your 80-year-old self, what would she or he tell you to not put off now where you are? That really hit me. My parents are in their 70s, and I can see like how not working on strength hurts. So I want to work on that. So I've got my bike habit down pretty good. This working on the, like my advent socks, doing a little bit of knitting. I just pick a YouTube video normally. Sometimes I read, but the videos work better for me for the bike. And I, set it for a time. I decide, okay, this is what I'm going to watch. This is where it's going to stop. And I just go. And that works pretty well. I'm not working on speed. I'm just working on being consistent on getting on the bike. So far, I've been doing an average of 15 to 20 minutes is where I'm at a day. And I haven't really been working on my heart rate. It's just getting my knees going. And I do notice I've missed one day so far. I think only one since I got the bike. And the day I missed, I could really tell, like I was sore. And when I do it, when I just get up and do it, then I'm moving better. So I like that. And what James Clear says is when you're building lasting habits, you want to focus on creating a new identity first. So I want to see myself as someone who exercises. I am someone who takes care of her body and exercises. If I see myself as someone who is sedentary, is that how you say the word? I think so. I'm not going to be successful keeping up my exercise habit. So you decide the type of person you want to be and then prove it to yourself, my stomach, with small wins. Decide who you want to be and then work backward from there, thinking about the behaviors that kind of person performs. Then start performing those behaviors. So it's kind of like I am a spy or a ninja and I'm sneaking in to a location. I've been watching all these movies, where I'm acting like I'm somebody else and I'm doing those things. So I'm acting like I'm an exerciser and I'm exercising, but don't tell anybody because you have to convince yourself. If you're going into enemy territory, you have to convince yourself you are that person so that you can just be, go straight, do your job, achieve your task, and not get shot, right? So, there you go. I hope that motivates you. It just made me laugh. I mean, I have the Mission Impossible theme running through my head now every time I do some exercising. My new thing is I need to be working on my walking since I'm getting my veins ablated. Look that up if you want to. They want me to walk 30 minutes a day and I need to be more consistent about that. So that's my new thing I need to work on. Okay, my garden report. I've been ignoring my garden and then I made some soup and I needed kale and I went out and my kale, when I started my garden, I had kale growing and it was my sacrificial kale because something was eating it. Snails, I guess, but something was eating it. And so, but it wasn't, nothing else in my garden was being touched. So my kale was riddled with holes in the leaves. And at times I thought it's not going to make it and the bug, whatever's eating it, is going to find something else, but nothing else in my garden. I only have a 4x4 foot square garden that was being touched. And then, my eggplant started growing and whatever the bugs were or insects, whatever, they moved to the eggplant. They didn't eat it up as much as they did the kale because the kale, it was ridiculous. It was like Swiss cheese kale. But the kale started growing, and so I've gotten several harvests of kale from it. And so I cut the kale, and then I've been trying to grow radishes. And they only take 30 days to grow to maturity, but I'm doing something wrong because every time I go after a month, I'd pull. I started my garden in June, but I'd pull the radish and it would just be nothing. And so I'd poke it back in there and leave it alone. So I'd left it alone. I'd finally just abandoned it and just said, okay, I'm just let it go. I finally decided to pull that up because we were having a freeze come. And I pulled it up and I got 2 pretty good looking radishes. Well, one really good looking radish and another one was pretty good. And the other one, I'm going to eat them, but you can tell I grew them too close together. But I'm so happy. So I'm starting to gear up for what I want to plant next. I'm excited about that. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is some bingos that have been going on. So if you're a knitter and you are in Doodle HQ, which is a Doodle app that Jamie Lomax and her team have put together, that you can, I think it's a paid for app. I'm paying a subscription to be a core member, which gets you like extra patterns and perks. Anyway, so they're doing a bingo for January, and so I've been participating in that. And then Table 10 podcast has a bingo out. Table 10 is a very funny podcast, good podcast. Just 2 sisters who knit, and they just talk. It's a long podcast. It goes for an hour and a half to 2 hours. Their last podcast was 2 hours, I think. But they are very enjoyable to watch and listen to. And it just feels like you're sitting at a table crocheting or knitting with your friends. So they're good. And they're doing a bingo. And so I'm participating in that. Are you participating in anything? Is there any kind of bingo that you're doing? I think bingos are fun. I thought about doing one for this year. I did the 25 and 25 last year, and that was fun, but I decided to switch it up. Do some different stuff. Okay, and then the last thing I want to talk about, I just finished a book called What You Are Looking For Is in the Library by Machiko Oyama. Oyama? I think it's an N. It'll be in the show notes. And it was super enjoyable. Okay, I don't read anything but fantasy and romance mostly, or sci-fi. And this was just fiction. It's a group of short stories about people of different ages, one person per story. But they all have a common theme. They live in the same neighborhood, and there's a library. And each person is having a difficulty or not feeling good about themselves. And then they go to the library looking for books. The librarian gets them the books they want, but she also recommends another book. And when you're reading the stories, I'm like, I don't know what this book has to do with this person's situation. Why is she doing this? But whatever, they go ahead and they read that book, and the librarian also needle felts, so she gives them a little needle felt, like stuffy or pin or something, little object as a bonus to go with the book. And it helps them make a small change to their lives or to their approach to their lives, to their thought process of their lives, that makes them feel better about themselves. It changes them. And then you realize that all these people are connected. Like, it was such a good book. So I highly recommend it. It was very good. I read it on my Kindle app, on my iPad, and I was very impressed. It's a translated book, so I'm impressed. I read something from another country. I learned things about the Japanese culture, which I enjoyed, and it was a book about books, so what could go wrong? All right. I hope you are going to have a great week. Do you like my new poster? My friend Rebecca gave this to me for Christmas, and so I thought I tried to scoop my setup so you could see it because I was blocking it. I hope you are having a good week. I hope you are able to find new exciting things to jazz up your life in this dreary January time. And I will see you next time.